مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.
Hello everybody and welcome to today's lesson. This is Mr. Mohamed Abdel Fattah and this is our new grammar lesson for today. By the end of this video, we are expected to recognize the structure and use of the past perfect and the past perfect progressive tenses. To check our understanding, we are going to move further to practice dealing with different types of questions related to the target grammar rule. Now let's start our task and demonstrate the use of these two tenses. First, let's check the structure of the verb in the past perfect tense. As you can see, the structure of the verb is had plus the past participle. Now, why do we use the past perfect tense? The past perfect tense is used to describe an action which was completed before a specific point of time in the past. So, before that specific point of time in the past, action or the target action was totally completed. Let's check that example. The kids had fallen asleep by 10 o'clock last night. So, I want to say that the kids were fast asleep before 10 o'clock last night. Secondly, the past perfect tense is used to describe an action that was completed before another action in the past. Simply, in this case, we have got two past actions. The action which was completed first must be put in the past perfect tense, and the action which followed must be put in the past simple tense. Let's check that example. Okay, well, the match had already started when I turned on the TV. So this means that the match started before I turned on the TV. So we must say it like this. The match had already started when I turned on the TV. I hope these 2 points are clear enough. Now let's deal with this exercise. Sentence 1. Suddenly I remembered that I not buy any green groceries. Green groceries are vegetables that we need for household cooking. Okay? So suddenly I remembered that that's right, hadn't bought, because it is clear that this tense is negative. Nice? Now let's move to number 2. They were waiting for their flight departure after they, right, had checked in. Number 3. By the time I go shopping, I had changed some local currency. So it is clear that he had exchanged some local currency before going shopping. That's right. By the time I went shopping, I had exchanged some local currency. That's right, gentlemen. Now please, let's move to our following task. Dear students, now we have to deal with the past perfect progressive tense. First, let's check the structure of the verb. Yes, the structure of the verb should be had been plus the present participle or the gerund. The present participle or the gerund is a verb plus ing. So, what is the past perfect progressive used for? Number 1, to put emphasis on the duration of an action which started and finished in the past before another past action or stated time in the past, usually with for or since. Let's check that example. He had been working in this company for 5 years before he got a promotion. So, when we are using the past perfect progressive, he had been working, we are trying to focus, we are trying to put emphasis on the duration. Where is the duration expressed? When we say for 5 years. Thank you. Now let's move to the second point. The second use of the past perfect progressive is to talk about an action which lasted for some time in the past and whose result was visible in the past. Again, we are trying to put emphasis on the duration of the event. Let's see that example. He had a severe headache as he had been working on his computer for such a long time. In this example, we are talking about a past event which lasted for some time. He had been working on his computer. Where is the duration for such a long time? And there is a result which followed. What was the result? He had a severe headache. I hope this is clear. Now let's move to this exercise. Number 1, I was really tired because I wait in heavy traffic since I left office. So this is a duration. That's a good answer. Had been waiting. Very good answer. Sentence 2. They had been climbing the mountain for 2 hours when it suddenly started to rain. Nice. Good answer. Started to rain. Sentence number 3. Noura got much experience as a doctor for 10 years. Very good. Had been working as a doctor for 10 years. Number 4. After he lived in Doha for such a long time, he got used to the local lifestyle. Amazing. Good participation. This is a very nice interaction. He had been living. Thank you very much. Now let's move to our following task, please. Now, gentlemen, we have to write up what we have demonstrated by matching the rules to the relevant examples. Please look at the rules on the right. The past perfect simple is used for an action which was completed before a specific point of time in the past. Where is the matching example? That's right, sentence 2. The girls had already made dinner by 5 o'clock. The second use is for an action which was completed before another action in the past. The second action is in the past simple. The matching sentence is number 4. By the time we arrived at the park, the bike race had begun. That's right. Now please, let's move on to the rules and examples of the past perfect progressive tense. The past perfect progressive tense is used to emphasize the duration of an action which had been going on up to a point of time in the past. That's right. The matching example is number 3. Sandra had been teaching for 40 years when she retired. The second point is for an action whose duration caused visible results at a later time in the past. Amazing. The matching example is number 1. We were exhausted because we had been helping out at the charity event all morning. Thank you very much. That's a very good work. And please now, let's move to our final exercise to check our understanding of the whole lesson. Please, let's go ahead. My dear students, let's do that final exercise to check our understanding of the whole lesson. Mr. Jones, for the company for 30 years when he retired last summer. This is a nice answer. Had been working. That's because there is a focus on the duration for 30 years. Thank you. Sentence 2. Dennis had been sitting silently for some time when he suddenly a hand on his shoulder. This is the action which followed, so it is felt. Amazing. Dennis had been sitting silently for some time when he suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder. Number 3, Hassan was extremely exhausted as he football all morning. since we are trying to focus on the duration, so the answer is fantastic, had been playing. So the whole sentence is Hassan was extremely exhausted as he had been playing football all morning. That's a really fantastic answer. Now let's move ahead to number 4. I had a terrible back pain as I on my computer for ages. Again, when I say for ages, this is a focus on the duration. So that's good. Had been working. The whole sentence is I had a terrible back pain as I had been working on my computer for ages. Number 5. They had been staying at the resort for 3 days when it's suddenly really hot. That's right. This is the event which followed when it suddenly got really hot. Finally, we have number 6. When the hurricane finally moved off, what happened before that? It had destroyed the whole town. Thank you very much for this accurate answer. And thank you all for your participation and hard work. I'm really grateful to you for your interaction. Hopefully, we are going to meet in new lessons. Thank you, gentlemen, and goodbye.
مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.